Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Kabarak. I currently serve as the Dean, School of Medicine and Health Sciences.
How long have you been in Kabarak?
I've been in Kabarak for about 5 years. I came here in September 1, 2016, so that's about 5 years.
And what are your long terms for this School of Medicine and Health Science?
I'm going to wrap it in one. I want to ensure that the School of Medicine and Health Sciences become a world-known school with high-quality education for all the departments that are in this school.
Who applies for an undergraduate in medicine and health science, and what qualification do they have so as to sit for an undergraduate course?
Thank you. So first and foremost, I need to let you know of the departments that we have in the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. The first one is the Department of Family Medicine that offers a Master of Medicine in Family Medicine. The second department is the Department of Clinical Medicine, and this department offers both bachelor's and diploma in clinical medicine and surgery. The third department is the Department of Nursing that offers bachelor's in nursing. The fourth department is the Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics that offers a Master's in Human Dietetics and Human Nutrition and Dietetics, a Bachelor's in Human Nutrition and Dietetics, and a Diploma in Human Nutrition and Dietetics. The fifth program, is the Department of Public Health that offers both Bachelor's and Diploma in Environmental Health. Now, all these departments in this school are regulated by various regulatory bodies, such as the Nursing Council of Kenya, Clinical Officers Council, Kenya Nutrition and Dietetics Institute, Public Health Officers and Technicians Council, and we also have a new program that is starting up, and that is the Biomedical Department that hopes to start the Medical Laboratory Science. That is also regulated by KMLTD. So the requirements for each of these students that join our school are regulated by the regulatory bodies, and most of the times they want a grade of C+ and above in either math or physics, English or Kiswahili, biology and chemistry. Without those, you cannot join the School of Medicine and Health Sciences, and the least grade that they can take is a C+.
Have you ever had a student complain about a lecturer or the administration at large?
It depends.
How will you handle if someone brought a case about a lecturer missing classes or a lecturer handling the students in a way that is inappropriate, or some of the conflict that a student may have with a staff?
So first and foremost, I think I'll say inappropriate is a very broad and subjective term. So it depends on what issues the students have. But I'm going to answer the one that is very straightforward, that is class attendance. In the university, we have the regulations to do class attendance, and we report the class attendance for both faculty and students every 4 weeks. So if a faculty member misses about 4 classes in the 4 weeks, then that raises concerns, and this faculty is called and asked as to why they have missed classes. If the students report before we get the class attendance, then we have to call the faculty member, discuss why they have missed classes, and come up with a remedial plan for making up of these classes. The other issues, we deal with them as they arise because they are vast and various, and so we do not have a standardized way of dealing with them because they are different, but the procedure is that they should be raised through the HOD, through the dean, and sometimes even to the management, that is to the DDC or the registrar of academic centers.
In classes, where do most of the students voice the enthusiasm? Is it clinicals, going for clinicals? Is it physiology or any other unit?
Now that is a very difficult question to answer because we have so many units here, and each semester we do a satisfactory survey that does not answer that question. However, our students take both theory and clinical. And this is a 50-50. You need to understand theory before you can go into clinical practice. And you have to have interest for both because they supplement each other. So there is no option in whether it is theory or clinicals. They have to be interested in both for them to be able to succeed in a course in the departments that they are in. However, having a liking for a course is very individual. That means there are those that really love the basic sciences, that includes the anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, while there are those that love the clinical courses, things like, physicianship, clinical practice, or clinical skills. We have medical surgical nursing, for example, in nursing. We have the community outreach, for example, in public health. We have the hospital experience for the nutrition students. So that is a very personal thing. They have vast interests, vast likings, but what we encourage our students is that they should give equal emphasis on the clinical and the theoretical part of their studies.
How would you term is someone to be a successful student in all the courses that they have to take? Is it they have to be practical, they have to keep up with each unit, or how would you term someone as a successful student?
A successful student is an all-rounded student. You cannot be successful, only with your books and not be successful with your extracurricular. We encourage our students to work hard and play hard. What that means is that they need to take their education seriously and they need to take their extracurricular activities also seriously. And so just like I've said before, our students need to put all their equal effort on the theory as well as on the clinicals because they complement each other. If you do not pass one component, then you cannot pass that entire course. You have to pass both the theory and you have to pass the clinicals. So we encourage our students to be whole in the sense that they have to make sure that they work hard in the academics, but they also have to find other things out of academics, such as whatever they're talented in, interests, for them to grow and become wholesome persons. So that is our motto here. Sometimes it is hard, but with a lot of planning and managing of time, one is able to go to school, make good grades, and still have time to take up a hobby. For example, learn how to play a piano or a guitar, play a game that they're interested in, such as football, go swimming, go hiking, and whatever else they may be interested in.
And what about your definition of a good teaching?
A good teaching is an instruction that is able to disseminate its information the way that a student is able to understand the concepts and apply them in whatever they do.
Which is the most important part when you're planning for your department budget?
There's a lot of things that we put in the budget, but it is important to ensure that all the spheres of the student learning are captured. That means we need to put aside money for their clinical practicals. We need to put money for the equipment that help us to teach them better. We need to put aside money for the books because without the books we cannot teach them. So then we have to make our plan our budget in such a way that we meet the basic needs first, and then the others come after the basic needs of the school have been met.
How many classes have graduated so far since you came to Kabarak?
Again, it depends with the departments. The first department to graduate was nursing and clinical medicine in 2018. Then we've had nutrition graduated in 2019 and family medicine 2019. And we also have public health that graduated in 2019.
How do you make sure that there is gender equality in classes, gender equality in your staff, and all around this gender equality?
So it depends on how you want to define the term gender equality. It is a very elusive term. A lot of times it means a lot of things to a lot of persons. But when it comes to some units in some departments, it is the student's preference. For example, in nursing, you will find that we have a majority of female students compared to
Male.
the males. And we cannot say no, we cannot say we've admitted a lot of females and now we stop and admit males. No, it is an out of interest. When you go to clinical medicine, you might find a 50-50, same to public health and same to human nutrition and fertility. So that one, when it comes to the students admission, we cannot control that because it's all about interest. But when it comes to the class administration, for example, the class representative, we make sure that for each cohort we have a male and female as much as possible. Within the faculty, we make sure that every time we employ, we also look at the ratios that we already have in the department, and we ensure to balance it per the provisions of the country.
Have you ever mentored a student, and how's been the experience so far? Is it a good experience seeing that your student is successful, not only in classwork, but also when they get out of school and they become someone successful?
Again, mentoring can come in different ways. You can become a mentor by virtue that you are their teacher and you teach them a number of units before they graduate. And a mentor can be, for example, at a graduate level where you pick up somebody and work with them through their dissertation process. And a mentor can be somebody that I've not taught, but they've come to me for advice and for me to hold their hands in matters that are academic. So yes, I have done all those three. And not only in Kabarak, but in other universities, because this is not the first university I've taught in. And yes, I have seen a number of my students become successful. I have seen a number of my students go ahead and further their education, and they've gone to the highest level of education. And I have even seen a number of my students that I mentored come and teach with me here in the School of Medicine.
Thank you for your time to be on.
Thank you too for taking this time to come and join the school. Sorry about the short notice.
Thank you.